Bumming with Bob. Let's have a few brews. We'll have some fun with the bum wine crew. So kick your feet up and grab you a beer. 'Cause damn, man, I'm glad that you're here.
All right. This is Bumwine Bob welcoming you to an all-new edition of Bumming with Bobcat. Want to wish everybody a happy 4th of July whenever you're listening to this. If it's 4th of July, the day after, a week after, a month after, 2 years from now, hey, Bumwine Bob is wishing you a happy 4th of July. But we are always celebrating here on the podcast. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to check out last week's great episode, hitting the links with the four LOKOs of the world. And we have some special treats on tap again this week. And joining me is my good buddy Roadhouse. Roadhouse, how you doing, man?
Doing great, bud. I'm glad to be back again. And
I
want to say happy birthday to America and happy 4th of July to everybody out there.
Yes. And I am celebrating right now with the bumwinebob.com beer of the week, the Natural Light, the Naturdays, the red, white, and blueberry lemonade variety, just in time for summer and 4th of July patriotic limited edition. So I don't know how long these are going to be sticking around. It says right there on the box. I don't know if this is just a seasonal thing or if they're going to stick around like the other ones have.
Yeah, I picked up a 30-pack of this about a week and a half ago. And I seen the Naturdays with the strawberry lemonade, and it was a 12-pack. And then these were only coming in a 30-pack. And I just didn't want to dedicate to a 30-pack until I tried it. I tried the strawberry lemonade, and I knew I couldn't go wrong with the blueberry.
Yeah, I was on the same boat as you. I saw the 30-pack first, and I was like, do I want to commit to 30 of these? I mean, I know either way, they'll be drank. I mean, they're not going to waste. But I was like, I'd rather have a 12-pack to start with. So I didn't get the 30-pack at first. Then I was out last weekend in my travels, and I came across a 12-pack, and I'm like, boom, sold. Brought it up, bought it right away.
Right.
Got home, cracked one open, and surprisingly, not bad, pretty good. The Naturdays. Now I still haven't had the pineapple yet. Have you had the pineapple one yet?
No, I haven't had it or seen it.
Yeah, I've still only seen that one in 30 packs. So I don't know. Next time I might have to try, because a few people have told me that the pineapple is their favorite out of the three. And I'm a big fan of the strawberry lemonade one. And this the blueberry lemonade is pretty good. I think it's not. I think the strawberry lemonade's still the top one out of the two. But this one's not a bad choice.
Well, I'm parched. I'm going to crack mine open now. I've got one also, and I got to get me a little sip of this.
Yeah. You gotta make sure you're nice and hydrated here on the podcast, because I had one I was sipping on before we started, but I'm going to crack open another one here now.
I dedicated to the 30-pack, and I got valuable real estate in the refrigerator. And I just didn't want to take it up with that. So I was trying to power through it the fastest I could.
They go down smooth though. I give them a lot of credit.
They do.
They're not really too much. I think I brought this up with the original Naturdays. They're not really too much of an actual light beer. I mean, 133 calories. So anybody out there watching their calories, it's yes, technically a few less calories than a standard heavy beer. But it's not like your 900 calorie light beers that you're used to. It must be that extra. It's that lemonade that puts that natural light over the edge of the calories.
It's got to be a low ABV, because I powered through like 10 in it.
Yeah, what's it say? 4.2. So you're on the lower end of that.
Yeah, I just couldn't get to that level I should be at 10 beers. And so I had to do a little cheat and pull on the old Cisco.
See, that's that Cisco, man. It always gives you that extra edge and
That,
puts you
yeah,
to puts you to that next level all the
right where
time.
you want to be at,
Yeah, and
with moderation.
exactly. And while we're talking about Cisco, I want to give a shout out to my good buddies. You can follow his YouTube channel, the Cinestalker, and P Nasty. They did a video recently on the YouTube channel where they were doing some low grade alcohol hood drinks, and they found a bottle of the Black Cherry Cisco and reviewed that. They did the Cisco Black Cherry. They did the Grape Blowout of the Neon Burst. They did the Snoop Dogg wine. They reviewed that too. Some Smirnoff Ice, a few other drinks, and they were rocking the Bumwine Bob T-shirts in the video. So if you haven't checked them out, check out P Nasty and the Cinestalker on their YouTube channel. I'll put a link to it in the podcast here. But definitely check those guys out. We're going to be having them on the podcast sometime soon. I've been going back and forth with these guys for months now, trying to lock down a time. So fingers crossed soon enough. But once you brought up the Cisco, I had to bring them up because if you watch the very end of their video and he's dumping out just a little bit that was left of the Cisco, and there was so much of like this sticky residue on the bottom of the bottle, which was like, they said the same thing too. Like, how long has this bottle been sitting on the shelf? And as we all know, it's been probably years upon years that that Cisco's been sitting there. But hey, you do what you got to do. You get out there, get searching out there. We laid down the challenge, so you got to get searching out there to find this stuff because it's out there. I had somebody email me today asking where they could find a case of Cisco, and I had to say, look, I don't know. Well, we never got official confirmation that it's been discontinued. All signs point to it that it has been discontinued over the past few years, but it's out there. It's hiding. You just got to find the right spot for it.
Yeah, definitely do your searching. If I came across 4 bottles of Berry in an unlikely place, you can find this stuff still. It's out there.
Yeah. And then this brings me to a story that I had to tell, and I was kind of teasing this for the past week or so. And I had some time last week, and I'm always out there. Anybody who knows me, you hear it on the podcast. Any liquor store I find, I walk in, I got to go check it out. I've never been there before. I got to see, what do they have? You know, you never know. You might get lucky. You find that unicorn. It's possible. It's out there. So I'm out last week and I had some time, and I was in the area where I knew of a liquor store that I had been to in the past that had Thunderbird. And I hadn't been there in probably about a year or so. And I know Crude was there last July, almost about a year ago, before a Guns N' Roses concert, and he picked up a couple bottles of Thunderbird, and he said there were still a few left at the time, and I just never made my way back over there to check it out, because I'm like, how many people are really out there buying this stuff besides you and me and a select few people that do their own stuff? So I said, look, I have some time. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to go check it out. So I throw it in the GPS. I'm driving over there. And now the name of the store was the Express Discount Liquor Outlet. So anytime you hear a discount liquor outlet, you're like, oh, definitely. There's got to be some cheap stuff there.
Yeah.
So I'm driving in. I pull along. And I noticed that they changed the sign. And I pull up to the side of the store. The sign outside now says it's the Fairfield Wine Cellar. And right away, I'm like, uh-oh.
Oh, no, that's bad news.
I'm like, what happened here? I'm like, okay, maybe they just changed the name. So I get out. I walk in. And how it was before, it was a real rundown place, really crappy. But as soon as you walked in, there was an aisle, and right up on the first row was the bottles of Thunderbird. That's where they used to sit, right there. I go in the door. It's this brightly lit store. There's these fancy aisles, fancy wine racks, fancy coolers. And I'm just like, what the hell happened here? I was like, it had probably been a little over a year since I had been to this place. And I didn't expect it to be totally renovated. And I'm just walking around in shock. I'm going up and down the aisles. I'm like, okay, where's the good stuff? So I'm looking at the shelf, and one of the guys who works there comes over to me, and he's like, hey, can I help you? I'm like, hey, do you guys have any the Thunderbird? You used to have it here. I'm like, what happened? It was like, oh yeah, last December, they sold the owners sold it to a new place, and they totally revamped the store. He's like, but Thunderbird, he's like, I think we still have it. I think it's on this shelf over on the corner. So I follow him. We're looking around. There's no sign of it. He's like, I swear to God. He's like, I saw it here like 2 weeks ago. We still had it on the shelf. And he's like, what are you doing with this stuff? He's like, are you cooking with it or something? I'm like, no. I said, I'm Bumwine Bob. He's like, wait, did you come in here before? I'm like, yeah, I bought some Thunderbird here in the past. He's like, oh, I'm Mike. I forget what the guy's name was. He's like, I think I talked to you. I think you told me about yourself. And I said, yeah, I do a podcast, a website, where we talk about this stuff. So he's like, oh, let me look in the back. So he goes in the back. He's looking around, comes out. He's like, no, I think they might have chucked it. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, wow.
I'm like, he's like, it's been sitting here for months. Nobody was buying it, and they took it off the shelf and just threw it out or got rid of it. Nobody bought it. He's like, if we still had it here, I'm sure the guy would have just given it to you. I'm like, I'm sitting there, my jaw dropped. I'm just standing there in shock. And he's like, man, I'm so sorry. If I knew, I would have held on to. I'm sitting there kicking myself. I'm like, I knew I should have come here sooner.
Right.
I'm like, because there was maybe a month or two ago, I was like, oh, should I stop there? Should I not? Because I'm like, do they still have it? I don't know. And so we're still walking around. He's like, man, I'm so sorry. We don't have it. So, I walk up front, some guy's doing some wine, sampling. So I'm like, yeah, sure. He's like, oh, this is a $10 bottle. I'm like, it's no Thunderbird, man. It's not the same. Yeah. I certainly took the taste of it while I was there, but still, I'm like, come on. So I walk out of the store. My head is hung in shame. I'm so pissed off at myself for like not being there sooner, not being able to save this Thunderbird from its untimely demise wherever it went to. Like literally, from what this guy said, he made it seem like they just like threw it away. Like nobody bought it. They didn't give it away. They just like chucked it. So I start driving, and I'm going back in my mind. And when I got the word originally that Thunderbird was in limited quantities, they sent me a list of stores that they said had it in stock. And this express discount outlet was one of them. And there was another store called Basket of Cheer that's maybe 10 miles down the road. So I'm like, and when I went there originally, this was in probably the end of 2017. I went in there, they had no Thunderbird at the time. But I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Let me just stop in there at halftime. I'll go there and look. So I stop in, I walk to the back of the store. I'm down there. I'm looking at the bottom shelf. I spot some Boone's Farm. I walk down a little bit more. I spot the big Carlos Rossi, the big jugs. Then I spot the Manischewitz is right there with it. And then right next to that is 2 rows of Blue Label Thunderbird wine sitting there, nice and dusty. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, I'll take it. I'm looking down. I'm looking at the thing, and it's they did raise it. It was it was $5.99 a bottle compared to the last time I bought it. I think it was $3.99.
Yeah.
So now this was at a different store when I got it the last time, but I go in there. I find a box. I load it up. I picked up 6 bottles. I think there were still a couple that were left there, but I'm like, okay, for today, for right now, that'll do. So I go up there. I'm like, all right, I got 6 of these bad boys. The guy rings it up. It's $32 or whatever it was for it. And I walk out. I mean, luckily with that, but I'm just like, luckily the story has a happy ending of finding it. But going to that first place and talking to that guy, I was so distraught. I was upset. I was like, man, how do you just get rid of this stuff? I don't care how long it's been sitting there. It's not like you're running out of shelf space. There's all these empty rows. Just keep it on the shelf. Somebody's going to come in and buy it at some point. Don't just throw it out.
That story made me want to go around back of the store and jump in the dumpster.
I know. if he had said it was like yesterday, I would have been like,
yeah.
Did they take the garbage? Did they pick up the garbage yet? Or I'm like, son of a bitch, man.
Oh, I could just imagine what your face looked like that
I know, and the guy was really upset too, because I could tell this was a guy who worked at the old store, and I guess whenever the new owners bought this place, totally renovated it, I guess he stayed on there. So he's like a blue collar guy. He was probably in his 60s or something. So he was older, and he's like, oh, he was so upset too. He's like, man, if I knew, I would have kept it for you. And I'm like, look, you didn't know. It's my own fault for not coming in sooner. But I'm like, dude, you just can't get rid of any wine or any alcohol that's good still. It's not like it was bad. It's just nobody wanted it. It was just sitting on the shelf and they just got rid of it. So I was like, he's like, yeah, we had some old stock from the old store that we were just put in the corner, and nobody bought it. And then they decided, okay, we're just going to get rid of it.
So this is a good lesson for your listeners to get out there and do some searching.
Exactly. You got to get out there. You got to get searching that bottom shelf. If you have a feeling in your stomach and you feel like if you went to a store at one point and you saw any of this stuff there, go there right now and look, because
pause and go.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, go over there and take a look, because you never know what might be there. I mean, every once in a while, somebody will tweet me a picture or send me a message and say, oh, hey, look what I found. And it's just like a random trip, a random store. There's a bottle of Cisco. There's a bottle of Thunderbird. It's got to be out there. I mean, you have 50 states to go through. It's got to be out there. So, but yeah, that was my adventure this past week going out there, which could have ended on a sour note, but I did pick up that Blue Label, the 13.5% Thunderbird. So I got those, and luckily I still have a few other bottles of the Red Label Thunderbird left. But I kept thinking, I'm like, whatever's left, I'm like, I'm buying it all out. I'm getting it all. And then when I go in there and like, oh, we had they're like, oh yeah, we had like 6 bottles left that were just sitting on the shelf, and we just got rid of them. I'm like, really?
My goodness.
And the guy even said, he's like, oh yeah, put it on your site. Tell people that they got rid of it. I'm like, oh, you're damn right. I'm blasting it out there.
That's amazing. It's almost like an episode. Like you went on your own Goonies adventure.
I know. And that's what it is. I mean, you go out there, you go searching, and it is, you go out there on these adventures, man. Those liquor store adventures. Since day one of the podcast, I think it was whatever episode 2 or 3, when I had good old Cactus Matt on the show, and we talked about the liquor store adventures It was. It's always an adventure. It's always a trip to go out there and see what you can find. So, as we said, get out, get searching, check those bottom shelves. You might find that unicorn. You might find something good. I mean, look, I got lucky a few months back when I found the wild grape, wild Irish rose. Roadhouse here found the wild green apple, wild Irish rose. He found a few bottles of Cisco sitting on a bottom shelf. I found some bottles of Thunderbird covered in dust on a bottom shelf. So it's out there. You just got to find the right spot. That's really what it comes down to.
Some of the great things about the adventures of looking for this stuff is seeing the clerk's face when you ask about it. I mean, I get such a chuckle out of the blankness that comes over them. Like, are you really asking for something like this, or they don't know what you're talking about, or they do and they can't figure out why?
Yeah, well, exactly. And like, I'm talking to this guy who's just kind of like the guy. He's just stocking the shelf. He just works there. But I guess the guy who's behind the register, because he goes up and asks him, he says, "Hey, do we still have that Thunderbird?" And the guy who worked there, I don't know if he was owner or just somebody who worked there, he just kind of like shook his head like, no. He didn't even like give it a second thought. So
right,
I could tell he wasn't dedicated like we were. Like this guy, when I'm talking to him, he could feel the same passion I had when he's like, oh, like I could tell he felt really, really bad about this.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, it sucks, but it's not your fault. It's not your store. You're just doing what they're telling you to do here. But yeah, it was a sad time there, but we redeemed ourselves. We got some Thunderbird getting out there, but we're going to keep the fun going here today. And we have some special drinks to give a try here. And I got something I've been sitting on here for a while, since we have made it now to the month of July. And I had originally planned on featuring some of these in June, but really with all our fun we had with the Wild Irish Rose and then the Four LOKO podcast and the pre-games in the USA, I didn't get a chance to crack these open yet. And I know Roadhouse, I know you got some goodies there too to try out for the first time. So I think we're really locked and loaded here today.
Yeah. And I posted up just now on Instagram of what my lineup is.
I mean, we're both sipping on our Naturdays here, and then Roadhouse went out and he went the Johny Bootlegger route with the watermelon and the sour raspberry, which I did feature last year when I did my little Johny Bootlegger feature. And what I got here, what I'm going to crack open here today, is the JOOSE, the screwdriver cocktail. So this will be interesting to see. I did a few juices in the last summer, and these are the Four LOKO competitors at 14%. The JOOSE screwdriver cocktail. So I don't know which one were you going to try out there first?
I'm going to just go in alphabetical order and do the red.
There you go. Keep it easy. So here, I'm going
to go right along with your podcast from last year, and I'm going to try them both separate, and then I'm going to do the concoction.
There you go. So I'm going to crack open this JOOSE screwdriver cocktail. Now, how will this compare to our Mad Mosa? That will be a...
Ooh, yes.
See? Okay. Smells very, very orange. That smells pretty good, actually. I'm going to give this bad boy a shot here. So cheers.
Cheers.
The flavored malt liquor. Enjoy responsibly. Not bad. Does taste very similar to an Orange Jubilee, just with a carbonated version, really. So not bad.
No burn. Got a good follow. No burn.
Yeah, see, this juice does have a little bit of a burn to it. I guess that's the only bad thing. Kind of reminds me of one of the four. Not all the Four Locos have a burn to them, but the ones that do, this kind of has it. But it's not too bad though. It's not too overpowering though.
Correct.
There you go. See,
I haven't seen them in my area.
yeah, these I don't see too often either. These I had to bring back the last time I was out in Pennsylvania. I picked them up out there. The ones I got last year, I got out in PA, and these two. So I guess I don't know if they're only in certain areas. Let's see here. The juice is the premium malt beverage with natural flavors and FD&C yellow number 5.
Good old number 5.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with number 5. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, the screwdriver. I mean, would I rather mix up my own? Yes. But in a pinch, I could see, maybe something you want to start your day the right way. You crack open one of these bad boys. At 14%, it's definitely going to get you a good buzz going. So you can't go wrong there. But, I mean, it's all right. Is it something I would probably pick up again? Most likely not.
Anything orange, I like. The Orange Jubilee, the Mad Mosa was fantastic. It's just, that's a good refreshing drink. So carbonated side of it, I would have to try it. I think I would like it a whole bunch.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's warning, contains alcohol. Yes, thanks guys. I don't see it plastered enough on this can with the 14% alcohol by volume. They say, as I say, contains alcohol. Oh, gee, guys, thanks. I had no idea. The 23.5 ounce can. So what are you thinking over there? What are you thinking there of the good old Johny Bootleggers, the little flask type bottles?
I like looking at them. I've seen these in the store for quite a while. I just never had the urge to pick them up. I guess I was kind of naive in the thought of this is another hipster drink, or like I really like the buzz balls. You show up to a place and you're about 45 minutes to an hour behind everybody else. And that you stop at the store, get your beer for the night, and pick up a buzz ball, kind of gets you right on track with the rest of the people that's already started ahead of you. So same with the Four Loko pregame. That's the intention I would use that for. Also. Yeah,
exactly. The Johny Bootlegger here and the Four Loko pregame are essentially the same thing. Because I'm looking here now, because I moved recently all the empty bottles I've been saving down here to my basement. So I'm looking right here. I have the empty. I kept the Johny Bootlegger bottles because they're nice little bottles. I like it. They're fancy. They're little flask type bottles. Yeah. So I kept those here. So I have the Scarface sour raspberry bottle in my hand here, and that's the raspberry shot, 12% ABV. It's a 200 milliliter bottle, 6.8 fluid ounces. And your juice joint watermelon, the watermelon shot, same thing, 12%. So they're actually a percentage less than the Four Loko pregame, same size bottle, but the same thing. It's something to, start your night off with and get you going. I don't think I drink more than one of these in a full one in a sitting, but depends on how crazy you want to get that night.
Or how far behind you are.
Well, yeah, you're right. If you're really playing catch up, then you might want to down both of these. Because I know if you haven't listened yet, which I hope you did, I hope you listened to the Four Loko pregame Loco USA podcast out there on location on the links. Because I cracked open all 4 of those pregames. Now, I didn't drink all 4 of them fully because I kept enough so I could take it home with me to reevaluate, which we did at the end of the podcast, but just drinking those throughout the day. Now, this is drinking at 9 a.m., cracking open the pregame, and then progressively drinking throughout the morning. And you can really get a good buzz going during that time. So I could see with this too, because I think probably with the 4 that I had, probably in total drank what would equal out to 2.5, maybe 3 of them. And you're sitting pretty good at that point. And then adding in any other drinks, if you're cracking open some Naturdays like this, or if you're going to get really crazy, like I did, and crack open the the LOKO USA while drinking the pregame, then you're really going to get wild.
And don't forget the 40.
No, that's true too. And the Colt 45-40, sipping on that too without going through the whole thing. So,
well, I'm going to crack this son of a bitch open and give it a shot.
And so you got to give it the old college try,
All right. The blue raspberry first. I get good. Yeah, let's give it a sip. Ooh. Definitely raspberry. Definitely blue raspberry. And then that follows something different.
Yeah, I don't remember my exact thoughts of it.
Kind of reminds me of nail polish remover.
Hey, you win some, you lose some. We said that, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's good flavor, but at the end, in my nasal, it's just like when my wife's taking her nail polish off. It just fills my nose.
I know. You smell that. You're like, oh, I know that.
That's exactly what I'm tasting. So the smell is the taste. Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's one of them. I'd probably take it down in about 3 or 4 drinks and be on track.
Yeah, but, that's the good thing about these bottles is that you can really drink this quick. I mean, if you want to, it just takes a few good swigs of it, and it's pretty much done.
Yeah, I think I took down 100 ml right there.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too. I think the first one I cracked open of the pre-games, I was drinking the lemonade, and I was drinking that pretty quick. I was probably like 3/4 of the way through it. I'm like, all right, I gotta stop drinking this one. I got 3 more to go through this. It's 9:30 in the morning. I can't drink all this right now. And I'm like, and I'm going to save a little bit just to try later on, just for that second opinion a few days later to see.
You got to sit back for a moment and see how it's going to hit your bloodstream.
Exactly. Because we had that. We had this conversation when we did the 4 LOKO USA redemption. When I had it the first time, and I was not a fan. I was like, no, I don't like it. Then I cracked it open the second time on the podcast when you were on it. You know what? It's not bad now. And then the third time I tried out at the outing, I'm like, okay, it's still good. Then the fourth time down the line, USA. I'm like, it's like, see, because now it's LOKO USA season now. 4th of July, summertime.
It is.
It's the perfect time now for it, and it all works out in the end. But so I think it's safe to say that you're definitely ranking the watermelon above the the blue raspberry.
I'm going to hit this watermelon real quick and throw it down. Oh yeah, I love the smell of this. Oh yeah, that reminds me of summertime. Take me right back when I was in my early 20s. What did I have back then that smelled similar to this? It's like a Jolly Rancher or a...
I think, because that was the whole thing. I think, I don't know what the
was that. What was that candy that was in a long flat stick? Real thin, about 1 inch wide, about 4 inches long.
I can see it. I can see it. I just can't remember what the hell it was. But I know what you're talking about. I remember seeing it.
That's what this smells like to me, and I can't. All right, I gotta give it a try.
Do it. This is all for science, folks.
Yeah, the watermelon is really good. That's trouble.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because of the whole. And this was my big gripe with the Four Loko pregame was not everything has to be sour. I don't know what the fascination is with sour, like malt beverages.
Yeah.
Like why do we need that for it? Because like the watermelon is not a sour, and that's pretty good. Now, the blue raspberry, that's sour. So what's the fascination with needing to make everything sour? The same thing with the pre-games. It was, sour blue ras, sour apple, sour peach. And the one I ranked the highest was just a regular lemonade. Like there's no need for all these flavored beverages to go sour. If you can just do a regular blue raspberry, I bet that would be great. Like a slushy blue raspberry slushy type flavor. I mean, it is a lot of like a syrupy taste you'd probably get from it, and it'd be very sweet, but it's still good.
I think that's what the sour does is mask all that sugar.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know if they feel the need that they have to do it so it's not as sugary, but still. I know some people say they love the sour, but for me, it's not on the top of my list. But hey, I mean,
I have this conversation with Johny Bootlegger here. He's staring at me on the bottle. Johnny, the watermelon is where it's at. The sour, you can cut the sour back. I'll definitely try more of your flavors because I found every single one today.
Yeah, now you can go back and try them all and see which ones.
Yeah. I'm sorry about being so naive and thinking you was a hipster, buddy, but cheers.
Cheers, Johnny. Good work.
I tried both of them. Now, back when you did your other podcast, you did the watermelon with the lemonade.
Right.
And then you did the mixed concoction. Now, I took the one you picked the best on the first one and the one you picked the best on the second one, which would have been a lemonade and then the blue raspberry. But today I couldn't find a lemonade, so I got the watermelon. I'm going to mix the two together, equal parts.
Yeah, see, that I don't think that might be pretty good. I mean, because you cut out the sour, you put that blue raspberry with the watermelon. I think it might be something good there.
Well, it turned a nice purple.
Yeah.
The blue and the pink of the watermelon turned it to a nice, it's a pretty purple drink. Let's give it a shot.
There you go. Cheers.
All right, it's not a winner.
No.
that the blue raspberry, I'm glad I tried it. I'm not going to get it again. It has that ending follow that just messes it all up for me. The watermelon don't have it. It doesn't have the nail polish remover aftertaste.
Yeah, no. Try to avoid that aftertaste. And I don't remember from when I had those. I might have to pick some up again to give it a try. I know there were a few other flavors the next time I'm out there because that's another one I can't get around here where I am. But out in the great state of Pennsylvania, you can find all this cheap alcohol and cheap booze readily available. And I don't know if the one was the blackberry one or there was a grape one I know they had.
Yeah.
There was a few others. So I think next time I'll probably pick up a few more. I'll see what next time I'm out there. I'll see what I can find, and then we'll give some more a shot on the show.
I sent you that picture of their display of Johny Bootleggers.
Yeah.
And I was, looking down at all the different flavors, and I wanted to just grab one of each of them. But the ladies there already think I have a problem.
And now they see you reaching into the Johny Bootlegger stash. They're like, oh, now there must really be a problem now. We're used to this guy just getting the Four Lokos.
Yeah. Yeah, I came up there with every flavor of Four Loko one time, and she looked at me like I was, you know, about to die.
Yeah, it's like, look, I'm not drinking all these today. I mean, give me a few days, and then I'll drink all of them. But
I said every flavor of Four Loko on the counter. Stone Cold Steve Austin's American Lager,
yeah,
and a bottle of Fireball, a nice bottle of bourbon, and then a 30 pack of Natural Light Ice. I could see how confused she was.
like what are you doing? Are you having a party? Do you have a problem? I don't know how to. I don't know what to do here.
I do venture very hard into the cheap, but I do like to try random bourbons, and sometimes they're cheap, sometimes they're not. And I know you've talked many times that you might venture down that road. As I got older and my taste buds matured, I hated bourbon as a young man, but now I sit back and it's not one of those I drink to get drunk. I drink to enjoy what I'm tasting.
Right.
If I want to drink to get drunk, believe me, I'm doing it for under five.
That's when you call up Johny Bootlegger and tell him to come over and
Yeah.
say, okay, all right, hey Johnny, bring over the good stuff, not this blue raspberry bullshit.
I bought these 2 bottles of Johny Bootlegger and a 30 rack of Old Milwaukee, and I spent $22 today.
Yeah, see that's America right there. That's the stuff we need.
And that's what we're celebrating this weekend.
Yes, that's it. 4th of July, America. It's summertime. We're trying to just enjoy ourselves here. That's what we do on the podcast at bumwinebob.com.
It's the freedom that we were given at our birth to be born on this soil in the United States, to be a patriot, to support USA, and to be able to go out there and go into these stores and buy this cheap stuff and enjoy it. That is America. That's what
our founding fathers wanted. They want us to go out there and drink cheap booze, go out there searching for this stuff. That's why Thunderbird wine is the American classic.
Correct.
It says it right there on the bottle. So if you're out there listening, regardless of when this is, when you hear this podcast, go out there, get searching, hit the bottom shelf. 9 times out of 10, you'll come out empty-handed. You won't find what you're looking for, but there's always that one time you might be able to find the good stuff. And the best of the worst in cheap booze is what we're always looking for here. Regardless of what your taste buds are, we support it all here. It's just, we try to do our best to live the high life, low life, I guess, is where we're at. I don't know. We'll find some way to explain it, but that's essentially what it is, because the stuff that people don't want to drink. And as you listen to the podcast I did when I was out there with the podcast on the golf course, people coming up talking about cheap booze. People bring up the MD 2020. They bring up Steel Reserve. They bring up the High Life. People know about this stuff. They just they shied away from it, but it's like, look, it's okay. Come on over. It's warm. It's inviting. We're here to have a good time.
I love how you brought your guests out of their shell at the golf course. They came up, they had questions, and when you started explaining what you do and what, all of a sudden they were relating to you. They knew from back in their day. Oh my God, Mad Dog 2020. You're like, yeah. To hear that revelation that they were having and totally accepting it, but they weren't going to run down the store and buy a bottle for nostalgic reasons.
Yeah. That's what we're gonna try. That's what we're gonna try for next time. We're gonna do our best to give out some samples the next time. People kept asking, "Hey, are you giving out stuff?" Like, no, maybe we'll work on it. We're gonna find a way to get out there and share the good stuff with the people. If it's there or it's someplace else down the line. Because as I said, Bumwine Bob is available to podcast, sponsor, MC, or I'm still waiting on the stuff from the High Life. But yes, if you want me to marry you, I can do it. I am an officially an ordained minister, and I can do it. I got the I got the credentials to prove it. So if you want a Bumwine wedding, you hit me up. I will bring the good stuff to you. You don't need to supply any of the booze. I will bring it to you.
I'm going to run that past Miss Roadhouse. When we want to get into our 10-year anniversary, we'll want to renew our vows. Believe me, it's going to be done by Bishop Bumwine.
Yeah. And trust me, that's just the tipping point. We're working on some new stuff here. I keep teasing it, and we're working on some new features, some new fun things for the website at bumwinebob.com. We have some more projects in the works. So stay tuned. Tell your friends. I mean, if you listen to the podcast, tell your friends to check it out. Like, subscribe, hit us up. Hit up me, Bumwine Bob. Hit up Roadhouse at Roadhouse71 on the Instagram machine over there. We cover it all here. We're out there drinking the good stuff out there. Probably going to be if you're probably listening to this after, because this spoiler, a little peek behind the curtain. We are recording this before the 4th of July, but this will release on the 4th of July or around that time. I mean, I know I'm going to be out there. I'm going to try to get some smoking some ribs, having a good time to throw back some drinks this weekend. Hit us up. Let us know if you're interested. Get out, get searching. You go to that liquor store, just snap a picture of that bottom shelf. Snap a picture of that cooler. I mean, I don't know about you. I mean, I like seeing the pictures that people send, saying, "Hey, this is what I got." I had somebody send me a picture. I'll give him a shout out. He's on on Instagram. He's beers with books. So he's a drinker, but he likes to read. And that's fine. I mean, hey, people drink and do a lot of things. I'm not a big book reader myself, but if that's your thing. And he sent me a picture here of the lineup of, he was out there today. He showed me the picture of the cooler, similar to what you sent me, but he had it was 30 pack of PBR, Old Milwaukee, Schaefer Light.
Oh, wow.
And then regular Schaefer, Rolling Rock, Lucky Streak, Natty Bow, and Hams. And that's a beautiful 30 pack. And these are all 30s. Like, I've never had Schaefer Light before. I've had Schaefer, but it's been a while. I can't even find that anymore around here. But he said the Schaefer Light. I'm like, holy shit! Where do you find this stuff? And he sent me the picture, and I'm like, that's beautiful, man. It brings a tear to my eye when I see stuff like that. And people that go out there showing the pictures, the bottom shelf. Because what did I do too? Because I posted I posted the picture the other day of the Colt 45, the trifecta, after I got the double malt for the first time. And I posted the picture when I had the Colt 45, the double malt, and the Colt 45 high gravity. And the P Nasty from the Cinestalker and the Hood Drinks video, he sent me a message saying, he's like, I had no idea that the double malt and the high gravity existed. He's like, I got to find that for our next video. So I'm like, hey, get out there, get searching, get out there, start looking. And people send stuff all the time saying, oh, hey, I posted about the Bud Light Seltzer, the hard colas. It's like something like, hey, I love that stuff. It's just fun interacting with people, seeing what they drink. seeing what people see pictures of and they're like, holy shit, like I haven't had that in forever, or I like that stuff, or you reminded me I got to go pick some up this weekend. So it's all for the fun here. We have a good time. Roadhouse and myself, Roadhouse has become a staple of the podcast, for the past couple years, and he's been a part of the team since day one for the most part. But we got people out there. We just need that street team to get out there, get searching, just snap some pictures. If you happen to know where you can find a case of Cisco or anything that this guy asked me about, he sent me an email. You hit the website up and he was sending me an email on the contact form saying, hey, can I get Cisco? If you know where you can get some Cisco, let us know. You got to spread the word of this stuff because we're a small community when it comes to the lovers of the cheap booze, in the grand scheme of things. But but we're a family here. It's the BWB universe is what we're calling it now. If the WWE has their universe that they call their fans, this is the BWB universe right here. And we're all a tight-knit family of people that just love to have some fun, have some drinks, and have a good time.
Right. I've quoted them many times. We don't have official names, like you got the Hulksters and the Hulkamaniacs, but I've always referred to us as the bum whiners.
That's it. That's what we are.
And, there's a handful of us out there, and we need to connect a little tighter, work together a little stronger. And I think with the right amount of support and right amount of effort, we can bring these good classics back. They know they messed up by discontinuing them. Their sales had to have dropped. So they got to pick this stuff back up.
Yeah, see, the one thing I don't understand is Night Train and Thunderbird. They discontinued those. Yet Gallo Wine can put out these cheap shit wines that are like a few dollars more than a bottle of Night Train and Thunderbird. And it's like, and I don't know how many people are actually buying those. At least Night Train and Thunderbird has a nostalgia, it has a little quirk to it that people might pick it up and buy it. But these like $7-8 bottles that they put out there of this cheap wine, is anybody really buying that to bring to somebody's house?
Those motherfuckers are still sitting on the shelf year after year. Nobody wants them. Everything that's on the left and the right on the shelf still sits there year after year. I think I'm gonna go up there and make a mark on it and timestamp it, and then come back here.
Exactly.
9 months later, 12 months later, and there's the shit still sitting there. So bring back what you guys labeled it as the American classics.
I know that
American classics.
That's it. That's it. You want it back, guys. Gallo Wines. Come on. If you're not going to do it, shoot me a message. Let me know what it takes to get this stuff going. And hell, I'll do it here myself. I'll start distributing it. We'll find a way to get it out there.
We got enough adult money here. We can probably get together and start our own and get it back into circulation. We're not doing it to get rich. We're doing it to help everybody out.
Yeah, exactly. And on one other positive front before we wrap things up here, it seems like there was confusion a while back about the classic malt liquor, the King Cobra, possibly being discontinued by Anheuser-Busch. But it seems like that's not true. I was out this past weekend. I found a place that was fully stocked of 40s of King Cobra. I picked one up for myself, And then I had somebody else on the 40 ounce crew group on Facebook posted a picture and a post saying that that was not true. So fingers crossed that King Cobra is still out there fully in production. Just might be, who the hell knows, some sort of distribution issue or something with 40s and stuff. But it seems like it's still out there, knock on wood, still in production. So people were worried earlier this year, and people were trying to stock up on any cases of King Cobra 40s they could find and hoarding them. But it seems like there's probably just some sort of production slowdown, or who the hell knows these days. There's always something going on with production of anything. But when it comes to the 40s, but look like they're still out there, still making it. So for now, King Cobra is still safe.
Good to go.
Yeah.
Real quick, where we moved out here in the sticks, away from the inner city and whatnot. So no place out here sells 40s. I haven't seen any Colt 45 anywhere close to where we moved to. But my wife and my mother-in-law went into Louisville last week, and I sent a text request saying, "Hey, can you stop and get me some 40s of Colt 45?" And she's like, "Can we pick it up at Kroger?" And I'm like, "No." You're going to have to hit some budget liquor stores. And so they went into 5 different places, and they didn't have any 40s of Colt 45. They had talls, but no 40s. And my mother-in-law was determined to get me my 40s. So they stopped at one more spot, which is a gas station on the corner. Not even a name brand gas station, just a bodega.
Yeah.
And they found them, and they could. My wife was the only one that ran in, and my mother-in-law stayed in the car. She's like, "I had my purse, and all I could carry was 3 40s. And that's what she brought me home. And I was so grateful.
Hey, let's say 3 40s. 3 40s is better than no 40s. So
Correct.
We'll take it. Yeah.
Yep. So, but that's the extremes we go to get this stuff.
It is. I mean, it's crazy. And people say, well, why do you do this stuff? Or what do people say to you? And it's for the fun of it. We have a good time with it. We're not here to get rich. I mean, hell, if we could, yeah, damn right. Well, we would, but it's for the fun. It's the fun of the chase. It's the fun of the cheap booze. Going out there, going to different liquor stores, meeting the people working at the counters. Sometimes you get some great people, some great characters. Probably 75% of the time, the people you meet are like boring people that want nothing to do with what you're asking for. But there's always that chance, I'll say like 25% of the time, that you'll find somebody, you say, "Hey, do you have any Thunderbird?" And it's that guy that's like, "Oh yeah, the Dirty Bird? Yeah, we got the Dirty Bird.
The Dirty Bird, yeah.
Yeah, come on over here." And he brings me back, or he's like, "Oh shit, man, I thought we had it." And it's like, "Oh, hey, but they know what you're talking about." Or like this guy I talked to last week, who was like so upset that he knew how much I wanted it, and they just got rid of it. When you meet people like that and have fun, and you talk to them. Or the guy I bought when I got the Boxer Light, and I was just talking to him about this stuff, and we're just talking about alcohol and different booze and stuff. You go out there, you meet people, you talk to them. And even as I said, when I'm out there doing the podcast on the golf course, you talk to people about cheap booze. It brings back these memories that people have. And even if they don't drink the stuff right now, it's a great conversation to have with people. And it's always fun to do. Like I said, yes. Hey, if we could get somebody behind us to sponsor it and really put that push, hey, for LOKO, we still got you on the horn. We got that conversation going. So, we'll chat some more. But still, it's just the fun of the chase, the fun of the booze, just trying this stuff out, seeing what's a hit and what's a miss. Like you said, you tried the Johny Bootlegger there today. The watermelon, thumbs up. The blue raspberry, thumbs down.
It ain't all the way down. It ain't all the way down.
I know it's not. It's right. It's not terrible. It's like middle of the line.
It's like 3/4 of the tank. It's just turned down a little bit.
Exactly. Like I'm like this juice here. I've been sipping on this guy. It's not bad. It's not great. It's like middle of the line stuff.
Right.
But if you're looking for something that will get you a good buzz, definitely pick up this JOOSE Screwdriver cocktail. I think we both agreed that the red, white, and blueberry lemonade Naturdays, definitely a good choice. That's a winner right there.
That's a win.
I'm definitely going to have to pick up the pineapple Naturdays next. I was slacking on that one. I really should have done that before this. But hey, we will get to it. But it is what it is. That's what we do here. It is what it is. Do you have anything else you want to lay down before we sign off here today?
All you gotta say is the evolution of your podcast over the years. And back here the first of the year, I started back in the archives. I went back to day one. Every day I listened to it on my commute to work and my commute home. Guys, go back, listen to the archives if you can, and listen to the evolution of Bumwine Bob. It's pretty amazing from where he started and where he's at now. I have the utmost respect for you, and I'm right here with you to help you push you along to get us to the next level and spread the word, get everybody out there searching. Other than that, I don't need any self-promotion. It's no shameless plugs on my part. Everybody knows Roadhouse. But we need to spread the word, and the word's Thunderbird. We need to get some Thunderbird in our lives. Everybody.
That's it.
You're more on the Night Train side, but I've always been the Thunderbird guy.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's tough. It's like 1A, 1B with me.
Yeah.
When it comes to that. I mean, the Night Train was my first one that I tried. So that was this. But when I mix up concoction-wise, the Thunder Dew, that's been a fan favorite since day one. So,
just like girls, you never forget your first love.
Exactly. That's right.
Your first love was Night Train.
Exactly. So it's hard to top that first one. You'll have some that will come close to it. It's hard to reach that level again. But yeah, it's crazy though. I mean, we go out here, we try everything.
We'll chase it forever.
Yeah, I know. But hey, he's Roadhouse 71 on Instagram. Give him a follow. I am Bumwine Bob. We got our Naturdays here. It is the bumwinebob.com beer of the week. A happy 4th of July to everybody out there. Happy summer. Don't forget about the JOOSE Screwdriver cocktail. And it is JOOSE July. I got some more juice to try out this month. Tell your friends to check out the podcast, Bumming with Bobcat. Check out the website at bumwinebob.com. And stay tuned. We have some special treats coming your way, too. So until then, what's the word?
Thunderbird.
Until next time, cheers.
Cheers.
I need a beer.